YouTube. You already know, Big Lou tapping back in with what it do with Big Lou, NFZR2, baby. Bye. So check it out. First time you come to the channel, you highly appreciate it if you hit that subscribe button. Hopefully you like the video and you can share the videos with your family, friends, folks, peoples, buddies, pals, amigos, and like us Puertorriqueños, Boricuas, Ibarritos, say panas. So you do that by first selecting subscribe button, and then selecting all, and then the bell notification, and then selecting all, and you'll be informed each and every time that something's dropped from this channel. If it's a pre-recorded video like this here, a shorts, or a live stream, which I already locked in a live stream for today at 3 o'clock. I haven't did lives in a long time. I need to get back on that because that helps the channel too. Um, you learn as you go, just like with everything in life. And so, when you're scrolling through and you see somebody live, I'm not sure exactly how you do it, but if you hit that live, uh, or any live that you hit, then you can start scrolling through people that are going live at that particular moment, that are all live. You know what I'm saying? That's something I just learned recently. So just like with everything, like I said, you learn as you go. If it's a job, being a criminal, anything, you learn better tactics as you go that make it easier to not so much take shortcuts, but just make it easier for your craft. You know what I'm saying? That goes for everything. Boxing, sports, anything in life. So anyways, this video is just a short little video, not going to be long at all. I've been wanting to drop it for a couple of days, but yesterday I just got the day just went boom like that, and before you know it was over. It was nighttime, and then the midnight hour hit, and it was already a new day. So I said, you know what, forget it, just do it tomorrow. And so this video is on. You guys see the thumbnail. If you guys, most of you know who that was. That was the fight that just happened in UFC 305 this past Saturday in Western Australia, which was the current UFC middleweight champion, Dricus du Plessis, took on two-time UFC middleweight champion, um, Israel Adesanya, right? And so the fight was good fight. I thought Adesanya had control of the fight, but he made that mistake when he gave his back to du Plessis, and then du Plessis went ahead and locked him in, and he tapped fast. He tapped pretty fast. I was surprised. I guess he just knew he was no way he was going to get out of it. I guess, I don't know. I guess when you're in those positions, sometimes if you don't have it in you, or to just fight for your life, or not in this case your life, but passing out. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes they just ain't got it in them. And I don't know if he was different when he was younger, if he would have tried to fight it longer when he was younger, or what the case is, but he tapped fast. But that's not what this video is about. This video is about the fact that these two guys hated each other, right? One from South Africa, one from Nigeria. And all the shit that's been, associated with South Africa, and the Dutch and everybody else that, the white people that were there, and conquered it, took it over, I should say, or whatever. Um, and the bad blood between these guys, like I said, the shit talking. So basically this video is about like sportsmanship, you know what I'm saying? And so, after it was said and done, the fight that night, obviously it was a TKO. He tapped out, right? He submitted him. So it was obvious he won. There was no need for and wait for either and still or and new. We already knew what the outcome was. And so the fact that du Plessis could have just continued to talk shit and been arrogant, but he grabbed the mic and he said the real. What I mean, you can like Adesanya or not, you can like him or not like him. The fact is, he's been kicking ass for a long time, and it's not like he's been getting decisions where it should have been, oh, the other guy won. This guy's just getting extra treatment because he's the current champion. No, he's went in there and look what happened with him and Pereira, for example. Pereira had him 3 times. He beat him. He had his number, and then what happened? He wanted to fight him again. He went in there and knocked him out and took his belt back. So the middleweight division has been reconstructed. These past. Look at Robert Whittaker. Robert Whittaker was a badass fighter. but he couldn't get past Adesanya, right? And now Duplessis beat him too, and so Roberts fell down now on the ranking for the UFC middleweight division. Sean Strickland, who I didn't really consider that talented of a fighter, he was more mediocre, more of the same of the, more of the same. He was able to get in there and rock Adesanya and take his belt, and then he didn't even get to defend it. Next time he tried to defend it, he got it taken from Duplessis, which I thought that was a good fight, back and forth, a lot of back and forth. Um, and so now Adesanya, where's that put him now? Now that's his fourth loss. Still is not that many for when you're talking UFC, right? I mean, the only two guys or three guys that really stick out with like really, really winning records. I mean, well, they're all, most of them champions are winning records, but I'm saying with the least amount of losses, obviously John Jones, no losses. Um, and then you got George St. Pierre with two losses, but he came back and beat those guys, both Matt Hughes and Matt Serna. I think it's Matt Serna, yeah. Uh, Adesanya, one loss. He tried to slide back. He's trying to slide up to light heavyweight. I don't think light heavyweight's going to be an option for him at this point. The best thing for him is just to try to watch film of these guys, Strickland and Duplessis, um, and hope that maybe, you know, um, depending what happens when Duplessis and Strickland fight again. If Duplessis beats him again, then he'll be up 2-0. Um, and if Adesanya can win a fight or two, because now the first time in his career he's lost back to back. So we'll see what happens with that. But the point of the video was sportsmanship, right? So he grabs the mic and he basically gives it up to Adesanya and tells that Israel's a legend. You know, um, he's very talented. He gives them up to him. They give each other hugs. They raise their hands up together. Unity for the continent Africa. That's how I looked at it. Um, Me personally, I'm not really into the shit talking. A little shit talk is okay, but when you start getting really personal about this stuff, with talking about families and kids and people's parents and their struggles and things they've been through as a person, that shit's off limits. That shit just makes you look way out of touch and way on the clown side of things. And that's what we see a lot with this. Not to make this video political, but that's what we see on with Donald Trump and everybody that makes an excuse for him about everything he says. You can't keep saying that the man is not a politician. That he's been around 10 years now. He's been. He needs to get polished a little bit somewhere, not just speak crazy shit off the top of his head. And I think that's where a lot of these fighters, and I'm talking boxers too, they get jiggy with it, too jiggy with it with their rhetoric. It's just way out of line, and it shouldn't be. I mean, yeah, you can say freedom of speech and all that, but it's the same thing as you working somewhere. Your constitutional rights do not apply to you in the free world. What I mean by like, if you're at work, you can't just go and say, "Hey, you mother." That no, it don't work that way. You can't just talk and say what you want when you're employed by somebody. So same thing with the UFC. I know Dana White says, "Oh, I don't put leashes on guys. They're allowed to say whatever they say." Yeah, they should be allowed to say whatever they say, but not whatever they say. Come on, man. Have some type of decency for your company. Don't allow guys to go and talk about somebody's wives and kids, like, and their dead family members or their old sick parents or grandparents and what they went through to get here to this country, or from Africa to New Zealand, or Africa to Australia, or Africa to France, or Africa to Germany, excuse me, or wherever they went, from Argentina to Spain, or wherever, from Cuba to Spain, from whatever. All that stuff should be off limits. And just like what the WBC did with Ryan Garcia with his racist rhetoric, they put their foot down, because not only, I mean, this is according to them, that they reached out to him and his camp more than once and offered him help, mental health help and substance abuse help, which they turned down, right? So at some point here, Dana White needs to, not only does he need to put his foot down for some of this loose rhetoric that's being talked, some of this dangerous shit that's being spoke, he also needs to put his foot down and come up with some type of union for his fighters, or some type of retirement plan, some type of medical plan for his fighters, You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, they're making a ton of money off these guys' sweat, blood, and tears, and it's not the same being compensated back. You know what I'm saying? I don't care how you look at it. You know, these guys are making millions and millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars. The fighters ain't making no money like that. Even a top guy like even a champion, some of these champions, if you're not John Jones or Conor McGregor, because he's the cash cow, right? I mean, even though he hasn't fought in years, he could still generate the money, right? You know, John Jones, Adesanya, Kamar Usman, those dudes were champions for a while. Francis Ngannou, you know, uh, why do you think Ngannou wanted to box? He wanted that to be part of his next contract with the UFC, and Dana White said no, right? Because Dana White knows how much money that he could possibly make. You know, look at just the two fights with Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua. How much money do you think that man made for those two fights? Just honestly, he made at least 10 million a fight, easy, easy. I would say easy, because look at Logan Paul made 10 mil to fight Floyd Mayweather Jr. So you know that's enough. You know, if he made that, you know, you're talking about a guy that already had a lot of fight experience, was already a champion at another contact sport. You know what I'm saying? And so with vicious knockouts and stuff like that. So you know, everybody, you know, hyped him up. He was hyped up being trained by Tyson going into it, and then he looked pretty good against Tyson Fury. But Tyson Fury obviously didn't take him seriously, and Tyson Fury, I believe, is on the decline now. Um, Anthony Joshua, on the other hand, is a lot more younger, a lot more cares about his ability and his appearance, and he stays in shape, and he's a yoked big dude too as well. And so he handled his business against Francis, and in my opinion, exposed him. But it's really not a bad thing, because Francis didn't really have a lot of boxing experience. Like, yeah, he was a boxer first before he started doing MMA, but you know, come on, I mean, you step right in the ring with the two-time heavyweight champion. You know what I mean? Gold medalist on top of that. So, you know, it is what it was. So, you think those guys are really making a lot of money like that? You know what I'm saying? So, you know, they need to. And same thing with pro wrestling. These guys are not. You know, if they don't use their money wisely, and there's only a few guys that are like on top like that. You know, John Cena, obviously The Rock. You know, Hulk Hogan Hulk Hogan, back when it was Hulk Hogan, it was only Hulk Hogan. He was the only superstar back then. You know, you fast forward nowadays, you know, dating back 20 years back, we'll say, you know, you had Cena, Batista, The Rock, you had Triple H, you had Shawn Michaels was still hanging around. You know all these different superstars that were considered baby faces or heels. You know, it wasn't just like back in the '80s where it was just Hulk Hogan. You know, and everybody got their turn to wrestle Hulk Hogan, and they got their big paydays when they wrestled Hulk Hogan, and more so when they wrestled him on the big stage. You know, in WrestleMania, you know, SummerSlam and Survivor Series and those other ones. And so I think, you know, these owners of these outfits, you know, they need to definitely make some changes for the future of their product, not only their product but future for their, you know, their brand too. Yeah, their product, their brand, just the right thing to do. You know what I'm saying? Just like here in the United States, why is it that Canada and other places health insurance is included as a right, not a privilege? But here in the United States, they just can't get it right where, you know, people have health insurance free. You know, and if you don't have health insurance, then you get penalized $800 a year, where they take it out of anything you got coming. You know what I'm saying? It's not right, and we know why. The reason why is because it's too much what they call dark money in politics. You know, both sides take money from corporate greed, from all kinds of corporations from different fields. You know, from the oil and gas, from the you know from the just all kinds of different ones, from the housing, from the Blackstone and all those different things. I hope I'm making it sound right so people understand. But anyways, back to, I kind of digress and got off track what I was talking about. The I think it's just more important to get sports back to the way it used to be. Remember, when you play baseball as a kid, or even basketball as a kid, and football as a kid, what happened at the end of the game? No matter who won or lost, you both got in line on each side of your team, and then met each other in the middle to slap hands and say good game. You know what I'm saying? And that's what was taught at a young age in this country and elsewhere. And it's kind of like missing. It's missing now. You know, it's missing now. And on top of that, it's being allowed to be missing, if that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? I hope I'm make people understand what I'm saying. Anyways, um, like I said, the little shit talking back and forth, that's okay. Oh, you can't see me, oh, I'm gonna knock you out. That type of stuff's fine. But when you start saying, oh, this weirdo, this, and his wife and the kids, and his dad was this, and his mama was doing that, and his, granddaddy came from over here, and his grandma was this, and that's all. Come on, man, that's not what we're about here. I don't think any athlete should be about that. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day. So that's all I'm gonna get on this one. Gonna be at 15 minutes longer than I want it to be. I thought it was only gonna be like a 3 to 5 minute video, but I kind of got sidetracked, like I said. But overall, everything in this video is what I'm talking about. All goes together, hopefully, and people understood what I'm saying. If you don't understand anything I said, just go ahead and drop it in the comment section and ask me or whatever, or join the live stream today at about 3 o'clock and hit me with it there. With that being said, Big Lou tapping out, baby, baby.